what effect have you seen on your personal brand? How do you feel that seen come into your business, if there is any?
Yeah, so there's a few elements at play here. One of the things that, as I was transitioning out, I had this mindset of, well, I've got this podcast, everybody knows who I am, what I'm about. Customers are just going to start raining down on me. And I quickly learned that having the podcast and creating all the content doesn't generate a lot of leads, but it is phenomenal from a lead nurture perspective. Now, as far as what has it done for my personal brand, it has helped me hone in on B, because it is important for us to have a target, whatever that is. I never even considered what is my brand, because when people hear brand, they think Nike, things like that. And ultimately, I've come to realize that brand is just associations. So I started to figure out, what do I want to be associated with? And early on in the podcast, like you, I would just have friends come on as guests and some business owners. And I talked about fitness, talked about cars, racing cars, like hobbies, and then some business. And over time, I came to realize that I light up whenever I talk about leadership in business. And so I want to be more intentional about creating more and more and more of that leadership and business content to create that association with Sean Barnes in The Way of the Wolf. But this is another thing that I kind of stumbled into and figured out over time. And, you hear people on podcasts talking about it, but until you live it, that is when you cement that idea into your psyche, into who you are. So in terms of helping me develop and build my personal brand, now people jokingly, oh, hey, it's the Wolfman, he just showed up, type of a thing, because I have been type of content that now people have this association with Sean Barnes, leadership, consistency, dedication, business. These are who I want to be known for, things that I want to be known for. And I had to curate that brand over all of these years of just consistently showing up day in and day out. Now, I want to elaborate a little bit more on a lesson that I learned. The vanity metrics of views and likes on social media. Now, let me elaborate a little bit. For 3.5 years, I hammered Instagram and Facebook trying to grow my followers. Every single day, carousels, posts, reels, clips, resharing, tagging, everything in my power on the Meta platforms. And whenever I looked back over the metrics, 3.5 years, I gained 1-ish net follower per day. So after 3 years, I'm still sitting at less than 2,000 followers on Instagram.
So you're wondering the value in being a podcast guest. Think about it. You want to build your personal brand. Is it important as ever? And coming on this show allows you to do just that. You're able to leverage our audience, but not only that, you're able to leverage the content from this podcast as you clock up the hours someone spends with you. The longer time someone spends listening to your story, your solutions in the marketplace allows you to do something special. It allows you to build a community and build a brand. You can leverage the community here, but you can also leverage the content from this show to be able to use where? On LinkedIn. LinkedIn is where you're going to shine. LinkedIn is where you're going to generate leads. So whoever you are, you want to come and tell your story. You want to be able to come in and be a guest that allows you to build your brand. Link in the description. We'll get in touch. So join our waiting list to feature on the Rubasha Family Podcast.
And then one day I looked over to LinkedIn where I wasn't even trying and had twice as, at the time, I think I had 4,500 followers, and I was neglecting LinkedIn. I barely post anything on there. And that's whenever it hit me. We have to be intentional about how we use each platform. because on Meta platforms and TikTok, people are there from an escapism perspective. And I see you shaking your head. You just released an episode on this.
Yeah, yeah.
You have to be intentional about how you use each platform. The Meta, those social media platforms, people are there from an escapism perspective. Very few go there for leadership and business advice. Some do, but very few. Now, whenever I look at my LinkedIn presence, that I'm being intentional about creating more content for people on that platform, I net increase anywhere from 14 to 16 followers per day on LinkedIn, and have been for the past 10 months. I actually posted a graphic 2 months ago just showcasing when you are focused on this platform, you're going to skyrocket, because that's where people's mindset is at. When they are on LinkedIn, they want to learn, they want to grow, they want to be better at business and leading their teams. And so just kind of lessons that I've learned. I still do post some stuff on Meta and TikTok and stuff like that, but we're leaning all in on LinkedIn because that's where our customers are at. And that's really, their mindset is primed for the type of content that resonates with me and that I like to create.
And if you think about it, like I've had you as a connection for a while, and yep, I see your content, right? Because not many people are doing it. And I had the same journey. I wasn't really like, even me, like I'm less than even 2,000 followers, similar. I wasn't really kind of worried about that because I just know it's just, hey, it's a numbers game. I just put it out there because I know, it's distribution. I'm not emotional about these platforms. Same as YouTube. I'll get 5 views. I don't care. It's distribution, right? There's someone out there who's going to watch it. So I'm quite passionate about YouTube particularly, but yeah, and even right now, the other social platforms, I noticed TikTok is still sometimes good for SEO, like you can still rank. So it's just to have a presence there, but you're right, like to really be intentional. And the same thing that clicked in for me, it was actually Gary Vee. I saw a video one time, I say this a lot. He said, post on LinkedIn for 9 months straight and it's going to change your life. And it did change my life, right? Like, look at me and you here. I wouldn't have connected with you if, maybe on another platform. Me and you are here. This is powerful. Having a podcast conversation, with quite similar interests, and I can learn from you, through LinkedIn.
If you really enjoyed this video, make sure to click here, and I'm sure you're gonna love that one.